there were lots of people who recommended what we are seeing. I think I saw an article that suggests that quite a number of submissions were made to the committee that went into the constitutional review, and a lot of it suggested the need for an early Congress. So somehow this decision seems to be stemming from the Okoye committee report. Do we need to separate the early Congress discussion from the sequence of the elections?
Bernard, I'm telling you that as a minority caucus, we haven't seen the Okoye report. So we don't even know whether it was reported in that in their recommendations that there ought to be early Congress. You understand? So that is one. Number two, the tenure of office of the polling station executives, the coordinators, the constituency executives, the regional executives, the national executives, will come to an end very soon. And are we saying that they are going to be the focal group to elect a candidate for their party to run for the elections in 2028, when their time is near, when their performance produced the results that we had? Don't you think, as a reasonable party and within the spirit and letter of our Constitution, find a way to overhaul the structure that gave us the results? I'm not saying that the polling station executives and the officers did not do what they had to do. Some did, some didn't. And I'm telling you that somebody is sitting in Okankwe Central whose ambition is to become a polling station executive in the next election when the polls are open, nominations are open, so that that person can also come and say that, look, I want to be a polling station chairman here because I identify these issues, and if we put in the right measures, we should be able to overturn the results in, let's say, MISPA school. Somebody also wants to be a constituency officer, a regional officer, and a national officer. As we sit, our national chairman is indisposed. A big party like ours is on the shoulders of the general secretary. There's
no interim chairman?
No. It's the acting chairman, the first vice chairman, who has even called for all the national officers to vacate their positions.
He has called for that? Wow.
So I'm asking you, Bernard, as a party, we've gone through reforms, we've gone through changes that led to the election of President Kufuor in Legon and also in Sunyani, and subsequently he became the president of Ghana. This party has produced 2 presidents. We are fortunate to have 2 sitting former presidents alive. I'm calling on them to call for some action and order in the party, because this party produced them. If we are going through this turmoil, we ask that they call people around the table and have a heart-to-heart chat with them.
Are you a member of National Council?
I'm a member of National Council, National Executive.
By
virtue of my chairmanship as the chairman of the subsidiary legislation.
Were you at the meeting they held to deliberate on this issue of the sequence of voting?
Okay, there were 2 meetings on that day. And because of the vetting of the justices, I went for the NEC meeting. So when the minority leader came, he asked that myself and the deputy leader, Madam Patricia PJ, go to Parliament to take care of the vetting of the justices.
Whilst he goes to the National Council meeting?
National Executive
meeting.
That was in the morning. So we left the venue because I had asked the General Secretary when I got there whether a decision was going to be made for early Congress. And he said, oh, he wasn't too sure about that. But it could come up. So when I went back, the leader came after the first meeting, that was NEC, and told me that, oh, he was going to go for the council, but we should stay and continue with the vetting. That was what happened. But Bernard.
Just a quick question. Does the caucus take a position for these type of meetings, or you go as individuals?
The caucus should have met to discuss the caucus's position. But you see, when I got there, I asked for the agenda for the meeting. and there was no agenda. So some of these things were originated by some people within the council.
In the course of the meeting.
That was what I was
Which means
briefed.
if you had knew, for example, what the subject matter of that meeting would be,
You could have written a position paper on it.
for that to be read on your behalf,
Yes.
and then so as we speak, your voice was not probably heard on that debate.
No. But I've stated on various platforms that I'm against this approach of selecting a flag bearer when we haven't fixed the party. We need to fix the party. We need to fix the party to make the party attractive again, to be able to win a general election. That is why I said we need a very organized and disciplined party to elect a president, not a flag bearer. Because those declaring to be flag bearers and what have you, what are we standing on? What are we going to be standing on to win a general election? What some of my people forget is that what led to our abysmal performance was the lack of public trust in our party. And we need to build that public trust and confidence again. Because it cannot be that you go into an election and produce this result and all you are interested in is to electing a flag bearer. Nobody does that.
What I've been told, but I think I interviewed the General Secretary here, one of the things I heard was that sometimes you need to stop the war of attrition. And I suspect they feel that there are too many elections. All these levels of elections will further divide the party. And because the party is already divided, if you meant it by choosing the leader, those at the bottom have no reason to fight because they will all have to rally behind the leader. That's the logic. I'm not saying I agree with the logic, but that's my understanding of the logic.
I've been in this business way before the General Secretary. I'm telling you with all due respect. I was in Sunyani for the election of President Kufuor. The contestants at the time, Malik Alasan Yakubu, J.H. Mensah, J. Kufuor, Nana Akufo-Addo, Kofi Kodua, and co. Big boys in the party. They all respected the will of the Congress that elected President Kufuor because they put in place the right measures and everybody saw the transparency in the process. And they respected the party's choice. My view is that if you don't take care and you purport to rush the process and somebody feels the process was skewed one way or the other because the Electoral College was not reformed to reflect the times, how can you call that person to come and join a campaign wholeheartedly? That must be a source of worry to any of the aspirants who are declaring or who have declared so far, that you need to carry the entirety of the party, the spirit and the body of the party behind you. I'll give you one example. When Nana Akufo-Addo beat Alan Chemartin in 2014, Alan Chemartin followed Nana Akufo-Addo. President Kufuor?
Yes.
Excuse my language.
Yes.
Across the country, and was even the one introducing him before he spoke on the campaigns, because he knew the outcome of the elections was fair. That was under
this is 2014.
Foko and
Cabinet
Japan. That gave us that big victory because there was transparency in the process leading up to the election of parliamentary candidates and also the flag bearer. And you saw what happened when people were not given the opportunity, suspension here and there, you are not qualified. It gave us that result in 2020. Like I said earlier on to you, that we're being told spiritually to look internally and reform, but it fell on deaf ears. But I want to believe people have started writing opinions about the Constitution. Yeah, the Constitution may say one thing, but you have to also look at the realities and how reasonable the processes are, so that the true will of the delegates or the party is realized to enable us present.
So let me just understand the position. You're saying that the choice of, or the decision to choose the flag bearer before going through the process of choosing national officers, regional officers, constituency officers is the wrong sequence.
It is a wrong
number
sequence.
one. And number two, that then means that additionally, the people choosing that flag bearer may not even be legitimate, because you cannot use the same electoral college or the same executives who led you to a defeat in 2024 to oversee a 2028 presidential choice.
Because these executives were the same executives that elected our former vice president and our former flag bearer, Dr. Boamah. You understand? And the reforms that is being proposed is that, we maintain the 5 polling station people and add 2 people. How are you going to elect them? How are you going to elect the 2? Who is going to conduct that election? And, when you receive constitutional amendment proposals, the Constitution also tells you that 1 month to the conference, you need to circulate those proposals to the constituencies for an input. They also need to make an input when they come to Congress.
You didn't see those?
I haven't seen the proposals. I'm a constituency member.
But they will bring them to Congress. I'm told they said they are doing conference also in July. We are in June.
So
you haven't seen them yet?
I haven't seen them. You need to also even organize constituency conferences, regional conferences.
To discuss these proposals?
Yes.
So a lot of things seem
they are all in the constitution of our party. I don't understand the rush, but
we'll take a break. I haven't heard a lot of people dissenting to what the leadership of the party has decided. You're one of the few, and a few others who have come out to say they don't agree. We'll talk about that more, and also we'll discuss other issues. You seem very prominent in Parliament. This is your pose. When you are asking that's your pose. It's the vetting pose.
Oh, really?
We'll talk about your vetting pose. No, you can do it. It's a nice pose.
Oh, look at you.
We'll deal with the vetting pose. Patrick Boamah
Mischief.
is MP for Okankwe Central. We're talking about many things, including the NPP and the state of the party. Stay with us.